All right, we got another one for you. And this one's going to be fun because a lot of you keep asking me, whether it's on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, it doesn't matter. You're like, how can I scale on social, Tristan? I just don't have the time because I'm building relationships, I'm talking to people, but I watch you do it all the time. And this is where Rejig comes in because they allow you to show up while you're asleep, while you're in meetings. You just have to set it up correctly. And I've got Matt, one of the creators of this amazing product, but we've got a specific topic for you today that we're going to jump into to showcase how this will work in your world. Matt, where do you want to start with this?
First of all, I want to say Happy New Year. I don't know if we're at the statute of limitations for Happy New Year on the whatever day it is today, the 20th.
Barely made it.
Great to see you. Thanks everybody for joining us today. Just to kind of pick up on what you were talking about, Tristan, we talk to agents all day long, every day. It's our favorite thing to do. What we're going to walk through, folks, today is really how any agent on this call can supercharge their digital media. And what that means in practice is from a content strategy perspective, whether you see a topic today, like the one we're going to walk through, which is this story that's making the rounds about wealth transfer from older adults to Gen Z and millennials, or Gen X and millennials, or it's a piece of local news or industry news or your reviews or a listing video, all of that is content that is now capable of being curated for you automatically by AI, leveraging an agent's individual branding, how they want to present themselves to the world, tone and voice. So for us, it is, I think the way we think of it is helping agents work smarter, not harder, but also having everything be personalized, hyper local, and relevant to the audience or the community that they're trying to reach. If it works for you, I'm going to start showing my screen.
Please do, man, because I'm seeing how different agents are using it, and I'm getting ideas from them. So this is why, I mean, selfishly, this is why I wanted to talk to you today, even though it's a webinar. But
all right, perfect. I'm going to share my entire screen, and we are going to get into it right now. Okay, can you see my screen?
I got you.
Beautiful. I guess where I want to start, just to kind of orient us very quickly, when you as a client or an agent are thinking about how you're approaching your social and digital media, oftentimes, like I mentioned, we're trying to help agents think about things from a content strategy perspective. So what we're looking at now is the Rejig dashboard. But I want to draw attention to, just at a high level, the different types of content that you should be thinking about when you're engaging your audience. You can see industry news like this. This is the Gen X millennial wealth transfer story that you and I are going to talk about. And just to kind of orient people, what happened is the AI went out and found this story on Housing Wire. This story was published just a couple of days ago. It's obviously super topical for what's happening broadly in the market and how it's going to change over the next couple of years. But what I want to talk about as well is, like, the AI can curate review content for our agents, industry news. It can create market updates for our agents automatically. It can create listing content. It can also take anything that's curated for an agent, have it personalized in the agent's own voice or with their own AI avatar, which we will look at. But before we kind of really dive in deep, I guess that's kind of like the main thing that I want people to understand, is that there are tools out there that are available to you. They're going to make it very easy for you to basically offload the work that goes into curating information that's relevant for your audience. So everything that I am showing you here, Tristan, is informed by what the agent shares with us during their onboarding process.
Can I run an example?
Yeah,
just
of course.
On the fly, just to put you on the spot.
Yeah, of course.
Here we go. Okay, you ready?
I'm ready.
I'm gonna go to the audience. Here's how I was lucky enough to work with Facebook and Instagram for 4 years.
Yep.
I ran their real estate advisory board for the whole nation.
Yep.
And in that, they were showcasing how different business owners showed up. Some talked about their business,
Yep.
and some talked about the things they loved. It wasn't necessarily about business. And you and I have talked about that before, Matt. So I want to go to the audience and ask all of you listening in, give me some things that you love doing that's a hobby, something that you enjoy that's not real estate related. And I'll give you my example first. I love journaling, Matt. I if you were going to come to my house right now, on the floor from side to side, unfortunately, I'm full of journals and pens. Okay, pens and pencils, but journals everywhere. And when I write about journals, I'm super intentional and purposeful because I actually do it. I feel like I do that for a living too.
Yep.
And so I could easily use this to talk about what's happening in the journaling world, how we use our journal, what the latest news is, and how studies have shown that all of a sudden journaling helps you focus, fights ADHD, and all this great stuff. But we've got Kathy here who says she loves skiing, mountain biking, global travels. Corey, visiting state parks. You see where I'm going here, because people connect with people based on the stories they tell and how they show up. So it
Yep.
doesn't necessarily have to be about real estate, because I'll connect with Matt because he's in San Francisco and he's showing me the things to do there. And then I'll check and I'll be like, oh, Matt's a real estate agent. That's cool. But I already connected and now I trust him because of how he showed up consistently. So Jalen loves books and she's reading all the time. Jalen, we don't know each other, but we just became best friends. What
Yeah.
kind of books do you read?
I'm with Jalen.
So,
I have a book buying, my wife would
problem?
say I
You
have a
have a
book
book
buying
buying
problem.
problem?
Yeah.
You go into Barnes and Nobles and you're like, I need that one and that
Yeah.
one. All
Yeah.
right. Well, let's pick one of these and then just put it into the chat on top into Rejig to show the magic of what it can do, because I'd love to showcase one of these and say, what's the latest news on this? And then just pull from it. So it could just
100%.
create a process.
Yeah, so by the way, I love all of those topics. I'm going to tee off on the first one from Kathy about skiing. And Kathy, if you're able to, if you can drop in the chat, and Tristan, let me know, because I'm having I can't see what's being dropped in the chat while I'm sharing. But if you
Yep.
tell me what part of the country you're in as well, I could potentially zero in there as well. But just to kind of pick up on that,
Ooh.
yeah, just to pick up
Oh,
on that example. So in Rejig, there's a built-in search functionality, and you can basically search for anything that's interesting. So I don't know, best ski resorts near Portland, Maine. So I know we have a lot of agents who are in the lovely state of Maine. It's probably very cold right now. I'm going to look for this topic since it's not super
Matt,
timely. Yeah.
Kathy's in Whistler.
Oh my goodness. All right. So
Whistler
let's see.
Blackcomb.
All right. I believe that is
Kathy,
Vancouver.
that is amazing, Kathy. I love Whistler.
Yeah, and I probably have Columbia.
By the way, Christopher Martin came in and says he loves stained glass. Dude, can you imagine running an Instagram with Rejig on stained glass? That would be amazing.
Yeah, so you can see this that I pulled up. Like basically there's a built-in search functionality into Rejig, and you can see now, like I did a search for things that have been published in the last year. And I'm just like, just to show everybody on the call what's happening is you can see now it's pulling in this article from these different publications. And what I can do is I can try and generate posts from one of these stories. So I just asked the AI to turn that story into a post. I selected it. I hit generate posts. When I go back to the homepage now, what's going to happen is you can see up here, the AI is basically quote unquote thinking. What it's really doing is it's going and visiting that site. It's turning that story into a post for us. So you can see here, 6 ski resorts you can reach by train this winter. It's actually listing a bunch of places. Again, it's probably got Whistler in here, would be my guess. But this was published on skimag.com. Now, the AI turned this story into a post for Kathy and the other folks on the call who are interested in skiing. What you can do as well is you can then essentially once you share this story, and so what happened is the AI found this story. You can see it pulled in an image from it. It's
Mm-hmm.
kind of hard to see here against this white background, but the AI will leverage, like our design team will create branding to Kathy's look and feel. We'll pull in her brand assets, her brokerage details, or anybody on
Oh,
this call.
I see it on the bottom corner. I had to zoom in, but I saw it. Yep.
Yeah, it's down here. It's against a white background. Normally what we would do well, actually, I'll show you. We can fix it in real time too. You can basically take any of these stories, hit the edit button, and then there's going to be a whole template gallery for any of these stories for the agent to automatically switch. The AI will switch some of this as well. Let's see if we find one that we like. Let's maybe do this one. I hit rebuild. The AI is now going to go, it's still got that white background. So we'll try one more and see if we can't do a better treatment of that. But
I
I
like
think,
the first one, dude. The first one
yeah.
was nice. What about the
Yeah.
wait?
So,
Okay, go ahead.
sorry.
No, I was going to choose the bottom left.
There you go. Now we can see her brand assets a little bit
Oh, I
better
see it.
at the
Yep,
top.
yep.
So basically for Kathy and anybody else on the call, now what would happen here is we would then save this. So we did this search, we created the story in the social media post that the AI created for you, Kathy. You'll notice here, it's actually summarizing the content of the article. The AI is not hallucinating stuff, it's not making things up. It's linking off to the source material so somebody can just follow it back and learn more. It's going to add hashtags for you automatically. The only thing that somebody on the team or the agent would need to do is decide it either gets published immediately or they schedule it to get published at a future date. At this point, Rejig is going to be connected to the agent's Facebook, Instagram, Google Business, LinkedIn. When we have a piece of video content, it will also create that for TikTok and YouTube.
Can you go back to that just to showcase one piece and explain it to us?
Yeah, of course.
All right, so we're right here. And one of the things I noticed there, if all of you want to zoom in, it's got Instagram, Facebook, but it's got Google Business Profile. Can you explain to me why it's important to post this on Google Business Profile?
100%. So, and I would argue for folks on this call, because I talk to a lot of agents who don't have their Google Business page set up. And I also have a lot of agents, and you know this, Tristan, who ask about SEO and now lately generative engine optimization, AKA how do I show up well in ChatGPT? When you think about it from the perspective of user behavior, and I would ask everybody on this webinar to think about, where do you go when you start searching for something? If you were going to plan a trip to Vancouver to go to Whistler, Kathy, like you're probably going to start in Google. If you're going to go do research on the best restaurants in San Diego, you're probably going to start in Google. So when you folks on the call are posting to your Google business page, you are essentially telling Google, A, that you're active, B, you're training Google to understand that, hey, Kathy is a real estate agent who cares about skiing. She's posting about content in this area, and she's knowledgeable about these topics. When you're posting consistently, you are essentially training Google to understand more about your business so that when somebody types in real estate agents near me or real estate agents near Whistler, it increases the likelihood that your profile is going to be what shows up. So from an ROI perspective, one of the ways to measure the impact, the ROI of doing work like this is if you're posting to Google Business regularly, you're going to see more organic traffic to your site over time. You should. Nobody can promise you that, but that's typically what we see. I would assume that lines up with your experience, Tristan.
That's it, man. That's it. I just wanted you to say it because I'm always saying it. So someone else saying it helps me out, right?
Well, and I think this is really interesting too. So you pulled, like, just because everybody here is looking at this content calendar, and you were kind of making the point on at the earlier part of the demo that, like, whether it's Kathy and skiing, or it's our new friend who loves books, or it's somebody who's super into national parks. I apologize, I forget your name. Once you start sharing that type of stuff, the AI is going to curate more things for you on this topic. And this topic can be individual interests like what we're talking about here. This topic can be stuff about real estate related content. But what I wanted to show you too is you can then, you can still see my screen, correct?
Yep, I got it. We're only seeing the screen. We're not seeing us right now.
Okay, perfect. So what I am now showing for folks is I pulled up a mobile view on my desktop computer. What I
Mm-hmm.
am showing you is this is a content calendar, and you can see here it's a 7-day plan. Basically, once Rejig understands you as a real estate agent and what type of content you care about, it's going to automatically start scheduling and sending, or it's going to start sending you things that will automatically be posted if you approve them.
So in the morning, every morning, man, I get a text from Rejig and it says, I've got your post ready.
Yep.
So then I would just have to log in and then showcase or to make sure that it's according to what I wanted to post and then just hit go.
Yeah,
Right.
and you can see here, like it's proposing a testimonial that you post on Tuesday or on Friday in this case. It's proposing a story about new home sales on Saturday. So basically, the point that I'm trying to land is when we step back and think about it from the perspective of, okay, everybody on this call has been pitched 7 ways to Sunday. You're
Yeah.
all looking for ways to try and make your life easier. What I'm trying to demonstrate to you here today is that you can use a personalized AI assistant to do all of the content curation and creation for you, but it still needs to be published. And we believe that rather than like auto publishing things for you, we want your AI assistant to get smarter and start sending you solutions and suggestions based on what it knows you care about.
I
So
love
then
that.
all you have to do is come in here and approve things. That's the goal. The
All
goal
right.
is ultimately like help you create a system around everything that's being curated for you. Does
I
that make
like
sense?
that. It does, man. I think there's a lot of intent behind us showing up and clicking go because we'd have to read it, make sure that it aligns with how we want to show up. So I love that piece. Now, if I go back to the Gen X millennial post, you
Yep.
also have something on the right of that that's a video. Can you showcase that and explain what that is?
Yeah, 100%. So again, all roads lead back towards making you as agents show up better online without you having to become technical experts. So what I did here is I took this story. This is a story that the AI found, like I mentioned, on Housing Wire. It wrote up a pretty detailed summary about this massive wealth transfer that we're expecting over the next decade as our
Mhm.
aging parents, transfer or pass on, and we inherit. I'm an older Gen X person, so presumably this is coming our way soon. So what I did is I took this story from Housing Wire, I copied the URL, I dropped it into Rejig up here, and you can see I asked the AI to create a video on this topic. And because this is my account, what I have done is I have created a voice clone and an AI avatar of myself. So I am about to play a video for you for a second. And it's basically going to be my AI avatar narrating this story. So what the AI did is it wrote a script, it pulled in the B-roll footage, it did deep research on this Housing Wire article, and then it has it narrated by my AI avatar. So I will play about 10 seconds of it for you now. The idea is to help you as agents personalize any of your marketing so that you're showing up on video, you're showing up on audio, and you're showing up on all the different social media channels.
All right, I like this. And
There
obviously,
may be, when I
oh,
demo this, there's sometimes a lag between my voice and my mouth moving when it's seen on the other end. On my end, it maps out properly. So just in case that
perfect.
there's a little bit of a lag.
All right. I don't hear the audio.
Let's see. Do you know how to help me share my audio on StreamYard? Let's see here. Stop sharing
Let
for
me
1
see.
second.
Stop share, and then once you go to share again, see if it gives you an option for it.
So it gives me share screen
Try it
and then,
again, and then I'll put you in. I'll try
okay.
it one more time.
All right. Let me do this. Boom.
All
Let's go
right.
back
I'm seeing
here.
you.
And let me see if I can play it one more time.
Go
You
for
ready
it.
for me?
I'm ready.
All
Go.
right.
Well, I don't hear it, but I'm watching it, so that's okay. So explain to us what we're watching so that we can understand it.
So you are seeing a video that was created about this wealth transfer. And basically what the AI did is it did deep research on that topic, created a script, and has my AI avatar narrating that story. So if one of the things that we hear when we speak to agents often is, I'm not really comfortable being on video, or the level of effort that goes into creating video content is a little bit of a pain in the butt. What this allows agents to do is create video content basically on any topic automatically. We just take a 3-minute recording of the agent. From that, we can create an AI avatar of them. And basically then your AI avatar can narrate your listing related content. It can take stories like this and turn them into topics. Again, that can either be narrated in the agent's voice or by their AI avatar. So, and then when it comes time to share content like this, the only other thing I would showcase is now you have the ability to share to YouTube and TikTok. If this account was actually connected to one of your agent's social media profiles, it would make the distinction whether that should be YouTube Shorts or normal YouTube, Instagram Reels, Stories, or in the feed. So it becomes a very, very powerful way for agents to, again, think about it from this perspective, Tristan, or this is the way we would like people watching this call to think about it.
Go for it.
Whatever your interests are, you can train your AI assistant to go out and curate content that's relevant for that topic and whatever audience you're trying to reach.
Mm-hmm.
From there, you can take it, you can turn it into social media content, you can turn it into video content, you can turn it into audio content. So you could even come in here, for example, and take this story, hit edit, and ask it to rewrite it as a blog post.
Which I love.
You could come down here for anything that the AI has curated for you. You could say, rewrite this as a 250-word blog post. So one of the questions and then basically the AI is going to go reread this story, and it's going to write a longer summary that could then be used in a blog. So you can see now we essentially have a blog post.
Where do I post this? Can I grab this and upload it to Substack personally?
Yep, exactly. You would just hit the download button right here. This would download the post and the captions. Agents drop it into their newsletter. Agents drop it onto
I missed that when I was doing this. I'm like, I'm going to start doing that. That is, I don't know why I missed that the first time we talked.
Well, I think the goal is essentially like we started, just to kind of back up for a second, and I think everybody on this call understands this, but like we started with social media because that's where everybody's audience is spending time. And we hear often that like people have very mixed relationships with social media. It's like a necessary evil sometimes. But if you think about where, and I know you're a big fan of the Pew Internet Research Studies in the same way that I am, but like, US adults, like more than 80% of them are on YouTube, more than 70% are on Facebook, more than 50% are on Instagram. These are adults. So like our job here is to help your agents reach that audience.
Mm-hmm.
However, we also know that agents are trying to build up their own, or have built up their own database, and they're looking for content to send to their databases, in the form of newsletters. They're also trying to maintain a blog. So we think of it as like everything that's being curated for you here. The goal is to have it be something that an agent can leverage in as many different ways as possible. So it's create once, publish as many places as possible. Does that make sense?
Makes total sense. I have a couple of questions for you. And
Fire
I'm
away.
going to steal your screen, okay?
Okay, sounds good. I'm going to stop sharing.
Let me go back to us. And the question is, how long can we set the videos for? Let me throw in another question because I'm going to be searching for something to show. How long can we set these videos for? And do we have any copyright issues?
Great question on the copyright. So you'll notice in everything that I showed today, and I kind of went over it quickly, the way that we address any copyright considerations, first of all, any content that we're sourcing from an image perspective, we actually have a direct paid relationship with. But when we're sourcing news stories like that Housing Wire article, notice at the bottom of every post that we curate, it's actually providing a link back to the source material. Same thing when we're curating market report data, we're providing a link back to where that data was sourced from.
Got it.
Or we can ingest data from our agents, MLS, or whatever data sources they have. So we're always I'm a former journalist, and I care a lot about kind of credit and copyright and all that kind of stuff. So we're always providing a link back to the source material in any post that we create. The eagle-eyed viewers on this call will know, for example, on Instagram, it flattens out the links. It doesn't allow you to click out. Like, no links in Instagram are clickable in the captions, but we will always provide the raw URL back. So
Okay. And on the blog side, how do we solve for that as well? It was just in reference to the articles that we're pulling information from?
Yeah, so when you say in the blog component, it's basically also downloading that source.
Perfect.
You download that as
It just
well.
says, "Hey, we're referencing this." Okay. Let
Correct.
me share this with you, and then we'll go to the extent. So, a friend of ours, and I like showing this because he's one of our coaching clients, and he's a coach with
Yeah.
us, right? So, easy. Matt Whitty, Massachusetts, like 40 minutes north of Boston. He's using Rejig. He just recently posted this one's got almost 100,000 views. I wanna see if you can hear it, though.
Just bought the
You hear
Royal
it?
Crest Estates for $254
I
million steps from campus. The deal instantly reshapes housing in North Andover.
So that's him talking, not really, right? But it's his AI version of him through Rejig. And look at here, all the content that's relative to the area that he covers. And that's how he's showing up. And one of his biggest challenges is the same challenge we all hear. It's like, well, how do I show up creating relevant content for how I want to show up? Right. This is why we went through everybody's hobbies too, because if it's not real estate, well, what is it? Right. And that's been so great for him.
Yeah, and I think I mean, you have the stats better than me, Tristan, but like one of the things that we try to talk to agents about is like in your database at any given time, fact check me on these numbers, please, Tristan, but it's somewhere in the neighborhood of like 1 to 5% of your audience is actually in the market to buy or sell a home at any given
Yeah,
point in
it
time.
ranges. Yeah.
What are you communicating to those 95% of people who aren't in the market for a home? And our view is locally, like hyper local content, stuff that's relevant and also reflects on you as a person, because ultimately, like, the AI is just a tool to support the agent or the person that's using it. So like if you're Kathy and you care about skiing in Whistler, you have the AI curating content that's relevant for kind of that area and that audience. And I know from having recently visited Utah, I actually went and looked at a bunch of content that was around skiing in and around Utah, and you can start to go down a rabbit hole, like, the next Winter Olympics, not this one coming up in 2 weeks, but the Winter Olympics after that are in Utah. So there's all these investments being made into the area about,
Yeah, did notice
that have implications for housing and stuff. So like all of these topics, demonstrate an agent's, like, it personalizes the agent's interests or personalizes them. And it's stuff that the AI can curate for them automatically. That's not just real estate all the time.
All right, good point on that. And let me expand on that because we've got a few minutes left. Cindy brings up a good point. I love travel, especially European travel, architecture, and design. So, taking Cindy's example, by the way, everyone, scan the Rejig QR code right underneath us as we're speaking. It should be right there in front of you. I want to showcase what I want you to do because sometimes we forget that the profile section of whatever social platform you're on is your identity card. And people don't know what it is that you do unless you tell them. Because sometimes they come through maybe Matt's video on a park in San Francisco. And I really love it. And I'm like, damn, that's good. And then I go to his profile, but I don't understand it. Right. I'm like, what the hell does that have to do with the park? So, what I want you to start doing is in the profile section, tell people the things that you love, your hobbies, and also tell them what you do. Like, are you a real estate agent? If so, what area do you cover? And don't make it crazy lengthy. Make it as easy as possible. I'm going to share with you what I want you to do. This way, you can just copy exactly how I do it. And I'm going to just share my screen. Can you see my screen, Matt?
I sure can.
Right. So I make it pretty easy. I show up reporting real estate news daily, right? So big news in real estate today. I also throw in every once in a while just learning, whether it's reading or journaling. And then I've got my real estate license, which already tells you I'm a real estate agent. And I did have Malibu there, but I stopped reporting specifically on Malibu because my audience just started growing wider to the consumer with the news. So this is how I want you to show up in a simple way. So when people see like whatever you are doing, whether it's journaling, whether it's videos, whatever, people can understand when they go to the top, oh, got it. And then have a link. Where do you want to send them to? For me, it's Substack. For you, it could be See More Property or call me. The point is, it has to relate to how you're showing up.
I know
That's
we're
it.
at time. I know the woman who mentioned travel. Do I have time to show one example of how you
Yes,
can take it?
please show me. Show
Awesome.
me.
All right. So I happen to have this up because I was going down the rabbit hole of this story about travel. So like I was doing some stuff on San Diego because in that wealth transfer article, they're talking about how San Diego and other luxury focused markets are going to benefit over time. So I had this travel story pulled up. What you can do in Rejig is you can basically come in here, and I showed this a moment ago, hit create, drop an article in, hit generate posts, and the AI is now going to go take this story. Again, it's this story that was published on Travel and Leisure about San Diego being one of the best cities in the country. It was published just before Christmas. I asked the AI to turn it into a post. And when we go back to the homepage here in a second, you're going to have a really nice looking post that the AI has curated for us on that topic. So I didn't catch the name of the person on the call who's super into travel. What I basically want to demonstrate is that here we go. Now you've got a story on this topic. In this case, you have a template that's got the agent's image on it. It's pulling in this lovely image from the story. To the question about copyright, you can see it's pointing a link back to this travel and leisure article. And then in the caption of the social media post, it pulled up a bunch of nice details from the story about Michelin-starred restaurants and best hotels and places like Balboa Park to visit. So just to kind of build on your point, Tristan, like there is a lot of information that the AI can glean and help agents just show what makes them unique and interesting. And that's the whole point. AI is a tool to help the agent show up well online and hopefully do as much of the kind of background work as possible. So all the agent is doing is selecting what goes out to their audience.
Dude, I love this. And for everybody here, I would love for you to test this out. Yes, we've partnered with Rejig. I use them. They're in Lab Code Agents, and we're trying to push them as much as possible because it works. We're seeing people actually use this and get engagement and show up more consistently. And then for some of you who are doing it consistently, you're actually connecting with people. And then that can lead to deeper relationships and more business longer term. So check it out. It's a Rejig, just in case you're wondering how to pronounce it. Rejig with a J. It's just for me, Matt.
It rolls right off the tongue. It rolls right off the tongue, doesn't it?
It's so great. It's memorable. All right, everyone. Let me know if you've got questions, comments, anything you want to add. I had a lot. I know I missed a few questions, but thank you, everybody, for being on. Matt, thanks, buddy. I love your background.
Awesome audience. Love talking to you guys.
Thank you, guys. Thanks, everybody.
All right, take care, guys.